why there's so many Eldar players. I'd love to know. But, anyway, with a 1-0 advantage in the series, playing as the Force Commander, it is Skysilver in the blue. And in the red, trying to pull back from a 1-0 deficit, his opponent, the Warlock Kastet. So these players are reasonably familiar with each other, both part of the Russian scene here, which is pretty strong for Dawn of War 2, actually. Pretty strong. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Blood Rain. Blood Rain is definitely the best, if not the best, one of the best, sorry, if not the best Russian player that we still have playing with us. There's a couple of others loitering around. But nice to see the scene still doing strong there. Kind of a weird map, this one. It's pretty easy to flank units around and get onto the power, particularly fast units like Banshees. But the Eldar can set up sneaky little webways if the game goes late enough. Sneaky little webways in these little areas. Let's see how this goes. No engagement so far. Skysilver doing this thing again where he just saves up a whole... There we go. There's the second tactical marine I was expecting the first time. And Kastet has skipped his second Guardian squad, going straight for Guardian weapon team. This will give him some suppression, and for a long time now, whilst Skysilver's requisition catches up, he won't have much to disengage or disrupt the Guardian weapon team. Now, it's a much more common thing to see Assault Marines for the Force Commander than it is the Tech Marine. So we'll probably see double tax into assaults, would be my guess. However, he is losing his natural rec point, so that won't help him. And a bit of a blob cap going on up here, rather than taking this... Yep, okay, swapping over. Having the scouts take the power, moving the tactical marines to take the rec point, I would imagine. Or moving into the middle for a fight. Which is it going to be? It's going to be moving into the middle for a fight. The second tactical marine squad are out on the natural rec point. The Force Commander has retreated. Tactical marines just sort of ambling about. Bit aimless at the moment. Heading back to their natural power. For whatever reason. Looks like Skysilver might be trying to group up his units, prepare for a push. Get everything back all together. Ready to push out and fight the Eldar. Quite how they're going to disrupt the Guardian weapon team, I'm not sure. We have the Armor of Alacrity, which will give the Force Commander the ability to sprint. So he might be able to close the gap if they catch it unset up. We have no shotguns, no sergeants for the scouts, so there's no grenades or shotgun blasts to disrupt the setup team. Meanwhile, the Guardian weapon team is actually advancing onto the power of the Space Marines. Looks like Skysilver might be looking to do the same sort of thing. But instead of using a setup team, he is going to use tactical marines. There are Eldar units present on the field, though, that could dissuade that aggression. However, nothing on the field to deal with this weapon team. We have a power sword now, which increases the effectiveness of battle cry, and increases the melee DPS of the Force Commander. But, gonna lose some power here. For sure, might even get decapped. There's nothing that the Space Marines can do about that. Kraken Bolt is popped by the Tactical Marines. As far as I'm aware, that does not do additional damage against buildings, only heavy infantry. Rangers are taking pot shots, doing good damage to the Tactical Marines. Might get a generator here, but is going to lose his whole farm for the privilege. Is he noding here? Yep, he's noding. Skysilver is noding the middle power. And lost a tactical marine to Ranger fire. Here comes the flamer. Okay. So now we're going to see the full trade, most likely, with the support of the Force Commander here, keeping the Rangers honest. Special knocks down the Rangers. We need to see them splitting up a bit so they can't both be knocked down by the same time. But this tactical marine squad will be flanked by the Warlock. Banshees are on approach as well. The setup team is in the middle of the field. This will be a dodgy retreat path for the tactical marines here. Very, very scary. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's correctly guessed by Kastet. He doesn't seem to be going for it. If the Banshees stayed put, they might have been able to get into the retreat path, but it's too late now. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity here. Banshees could have just hovered around, waited for the attacks to come back, and chopped them up as they were retreating. Bit of a missed opportunity there for Kastet to make his opponent pay for this full bash. Obviously, Tactical Marines now retaking the natural power. So it's a bit of a tit for tat in terms of power bashing. 3 generators were destroyed here, so the economic impact is greater for Kastet. But he didn't lose his node and was not decapped. Still think it's a bit of a shame that Kastet did not recognize the opportunity to put Banshees into the retreat path there. That could have wiped the Tactical Marines out. And that would have been a decisive advantage here for Kastet. However, with no power, there's no Assault Marines coming anytime soon. We've spent power on a Flamer, we've spent power on shotguns, and we've spent power on the Scout Sergeant. Bit of a slower paced game here. We've got flame attacks being sniped, taking a power node, but they're going to get sniped again. And the Warlock is in here now. No war gear on this chap. Not able to take out a model. Meanwhile, the Force Commander with his power sword and support of Tactical Marines charging off at the Banshees. Heading back to the power, it seems. This is not the Flamer squad. Okay, heading back to the mid. The setup team gets out of the way. Can it set up into a position to perhaps flank and defend the middle victory point? Victory points ticking down in favor of Kastet. And Kastet is back on the power of Skysilver. Going to take at least 1 generator here. Rangers laying down some fire on the approaching Force Commander. 1 generator falls. Guardian Weapon Team faces about, trying to suppress the Tactical Marines on approach, which they do manage to do. Banshees, in the meanwhile, escorting a second Guardian Weapon Team into the fight. It's another Tactical Marine model has gone down from the fire of the Rangers and the Guardians. Banshees apparently don't want a piece of it. The second Guardian team has set up, covering this choke point. Now with 2 Guardian Weapon Teams working together, much harder to deal with, especially when you don't have any Assault Marines. Assault Marines could be purchased by Skysilver very soon, if he chooses so to do. But he's going to lose all of his power again. Alright, time for Kastet to perhaps change the facing on these Guardian Weapon Teams. This first one will suppress the Force Commander and the Flame attacks. Is this a Tactical Marine drop pod? Could well be. And indeed it is. Well, it is a drop pod, and inside are Tactical Marines. Here they come. So 3 Tactical Marine squads now for Skysilver. That's a lot of pop of Tactical Marines. You see, despite having fewer squads, the pop for Skysilver is massively higher than that for Kastet, which affects his income negatively due to the way the upkeep works in this game. At a very basic level, the more population that you have, the more tax you pay to keep your units on the field. It's a lot more complicated than that, but I don't fully understand it, and I'm not going to waste time trying to explain something I don't fully understand. So 3 Tactical Marine squads, nothing to do with setup teams, nothing to do with Rangers. This Tactical Marine squad has taken significant damage trying to cap the middle victory point, but he does do it. Rangers have picked off 2 models in the center there. Scouts with their sergeant, able to detect the Rangers. They also have shotguns to dissuade Banshees. Banshees are in base healing. Force Commander has to retreat from the barrage of shurikens from the shuriken cannon. And tier 2, halfway done for Kastet, just started for Skysilver. The victory points are massively in the lead for the Eldar player. And with double setup, team should be able to secure the mid without too much trouble. Rangers here, keeping the scouts honest, forcing them to keep their distance or be sniped at. Banshees, in the meanwhile, defending the power. The single Flamer Tactical Marine was trying to be sneaky, get in, get a power bash, get out, but the Banshees are here to get them out of there. Let's see if we can get a retreat grenade here. Going for it. Looks pretty decent, looks very good. Awesome retreat grenades from Skysilver this series. Gets another model. But the midfield is belonging to the Eldar. Scouts now with their shotguns moving in onto the generators. It's a slower bash, but it will eventually kill generators. Guardians capping up the mid. Single shuriken cannon behind an energy field, the other one moving off to the other side to present this flank. The scouts are forced to leave by the attention of the warlock, not what they want, as well as rangers. This guardian weapon team running around all over the place. Kastet cannot seem to find a good place for it. Doesn't know where he wants to put it. Where's it going? It's going up to the power, it looks like. However, there are units coming out of the base. 2 units of tactical marines that will get it out of there. Force Commander moving in, taking suppression from the Guardian Weapon Team. A lot of damage from Dark Reapers. Rangers, however, might go down here. Rangers have wiped. Should have been retreated. A drop in the micro of Kastet. Flame attacks. Persuading the Guardian Weapon Team non-set up to leave. Going to drop suppression. Get support from the second Flame Guardian Weapon Team. And suppression on the other Tactical Marines right now. Where are the Banshees? The Banshees are hanging out in the mid. Dark Reapers doing decent damage from the low ground. Not masses, but decent. And it will be a Razorback transport coming out for Skysilver to try and break this contain, get back out onto the field. Unlikely to be successful with the heavy melee of Banshees present. 2 Guardian Weapon Teams. One of them can very easily go for a Bright Lance. Scouts have been detected, but have they been noticed? Grenades onto the flank of the Guardian Weapon Team, but they will be chopped to pieces by Banshees now. Meanwhile, here come more Tactical Marines with Flamers, but immediately suppressed by the Guardian Weapon Team. And Banshees chasing into base. Overzealous. These Banshees might actually wipe here. They seem to have been forgotten about. And indeed, they have been forgotten about, and down they go. Here comes the transport, the Razorback. Do we have a Bright Lance on the way? No AV on the way. The Dark Reapers use their Exarch to disrupt the cap from the Tactical Marines, and then just lay down an unholy amount of fire on them. Scouts, oh no, this is not Scouts, sorry, this is Tactical Marines in the mid, decapping that victory point, but the Warlock is onto the natural victory point. Tactical Marines were able to secure this cap, so that buys a little bit of time for Skysilver. Devastators are the choice, and a second Dark Reaper squad onto the field for Kastet. Losing his Banshees in an ill-advised charge into the base. And the whole Eldar force is off now, so some time bought here for Skysilver. If he's able to turn this one around, that would be a bloody miracle. This is such a heavy Space Marine army. Like, the upkeep he's paying is insane. And the units just don't have any versatility. It's all just, we're going to stand back and shoot at you. Losing Rangers hurts. We have a Bright Lance on the field now to deal with the Razorback. And Scouts repairing up the Razorback from the damage it took from Dark Reapers. Dark Reapers don't do a great deal of AV damage, but they do some, especially against the light vehicle like a Razorback. Eventually, if it just stands there and gets shot at by it, eventually they'll hurt it enough to where it has to retreat. But the Bright Lance is absolutely the correct play. Dark Reapers now, 2 squads of them, setting up to absolutely rinse Tactical Marines. Moving up, the Guardian Weapon Team with the Shuriken Cannon. The Bright Lance still holding back, waiting for the advance of the Razorback, it seems. We have the Sword, Chainsword, and Storm Shield ability. Moving in now, covering the advance of the Tactical Marines, is the Force Commander. This reduces range damage taken by squad whilst it's active, but it does have a limited duration, and down it goes. These Dark Reapers absolutely ruining the Tactical Marines. 2 squads have wiped, and a third one might not be far off. The Bright Lance not set up. The Razorback moving in. Can the Bright Lance set up in a position to fire? He might get 1 or 2 shots, maybe 1. He got 1 shot onto rear armor, and now has to reset up. A good micro here from Skysilver, keeping the Razorback out of the firing arc of the Bright Lance. But double cap again. Time is running out. And here comes yet more Tactical Marines dropped into the teeth of Dark Reapers. This good lord. Well, that's that there. The Razorback taking some damage here from the Dark Reapers. Double squads, both leveled up. We'll take out the Razorback, and that is 1-1 in the series.